is my audio not working?
Whoa, what the hell did you just do?
That was loud.
Oh, starting soon.
Are you ready for some football?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thick and Thin Sports Cast with your hosts, Nate Hanks and Travis Watson. We're here to talk all things sports and just have a good time. Listener beware, there may be some adult language. Now, let's get to the show!
Are you
Hey,
ready
Nate,
for
how's
some
it going?
football?
Hi there.
Oh, why do we have no video? This is weird. What is going on here? Here, you guys talk amongst yourself. We have no video for some odd reason.
Well, I did pre-warn everybody that we are experiencing technical difficulties tonight. And
Yes, we have 4 people watching, and they're seeing a starting soon screen still.
I got nothing. It's a black screen for me with our YouTube link, which is weird that we show our YouTube link while we're on YouTube, because obviously they're watching us on YouTube. Is this for something later?
Yeah, so when I post it to Facebook and whatnot.
Well, we are getting something coming through.
Are we?
To the broadcasters, a picture of me at the corner of the screen.
Well, that's true.
Yep, that's you.
You and the whiff.
Yep, that's all we're getting broadcasting.
Oh, is the whiff watching this at home on the big TV?
Yes, she is.
Oh.
All right, why am I getting no video?
I don't know. That's what happens when you start trying to play with things and
I didn't play with the
Do
video at all. I
stuff.
don't know why the camera's not working.
you've just been trying to do things. Travis has been very busy trying to be a good Samaritan and doing stuff for other people, and just totally messed with everything that he would normally be doing.
Yes, I have.
So that just sucks. Oh well, I mean, it's not the first time we've done the show not with video.
Well, Nate, while Travis works on that, do you want to have some opening thoughts for the this past weekend and this upcoming week?
Yeah. Well, I'm not excited about making picks. I know I expressed this to you both, but I feel like the playoffs this year is going to be more difficult than normal.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams and no real cupcakes thrown in there.
Right, and like even with the Eagles being what 8-8,
9-7.
essentially 8-8.
Yeah, pretty much 500.
Yeah, that they could still have a chance to do something.
I mean, Seattle did do that a few years ago to the Saints, so
They did. Yeah.
it has happened before.
I'm surprised the Packers won, to be honest. I was hoping they would win, and I'm surprised they won. How about Miami? Can we talk about Miami?
Yeah,
Let's talk about Miami.
I'm not sure if that's all Miami or if New England's defense just decided not to show up, because that defense hasn't let up a 300-yard passer all season, and they let Ryan Fitzpatrick throw for over 300 yards against them.
Fitzmagic showed up
Yo, he showed up in
legendary fashion.
I was going to say, I don't think he's ever looked that good in his entire career. Ever had.
I completely agree. I don't think even like Miami thought that was a thing.
No.
Why is Mo getting audio?
Yes, she is. She said she can hear us.
Okay, that's weird because it's saying that I had no audio. No, I just have no video. Why the hell do I have no video?
I think the problem is, and I know all of our New England listeners and fans are going to disagree with me on this. I think that Brady his age is a thing. Like, I get it. He's in peak physical condition. He's ridiculously in shape. He well-tuned body. But there's a difference between football shape and then just being in shape or just being athletic. And I think progressing through the season, his body his age is kind of starting to show.
See, I don't think it's his age. I think he's injured.
Isn't he always injured?
Well, I think he's injured more than he's letting on to, because every time he wasn't on the field this past weekend, he was throwing the ball with Stidham on the sidelines, trying to stretch his arm out, trying to get loose. You don't see Brady doing that. You see Brady sitting on the bench, going over the plays, looking at the tablets, figuring out where the open guy was that he missed, if there was someone open. You don't see him standing there.
Well, do you think it's... So, I'll ask you this. What do you think is more logical, that he's hurt or that his age is kind of showing up? Because even with age, your arm is going to be tired. It's going to be sore, not throwing the way he used to, that sort of thing.
I think it's a hurt because he did hit his elbow in the Kansas City or Cincinnati game. One of those two games, he did hit his elbow against a helmet. And I'm not sure if you've ever had a bone bruise, but they suck.
I may have. I don't know.
And there's nothing you can really do about it. It just hurts anytime you move. So it might be something like that, or a muscle is bruised, and it might be his age that's taking him so long to recover.
So it could be a combination of the two.
It could be a combination of both.
See, I accept that answer more than just an injury.
The other thing that happened.
Oh, that was a nice pass.
That was last week's that was the 4:00 game on Saturday. But the other thing I noticed is he was wearing different cleats than he's ever worn.
You notice his cleats?
They talked about it this week.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, you're straight stalking this guy.
You know everything about TB12. Come on.
I know nothing about TV12.
I know it's obvious.
I don't listen to the radio. I don't watch local TV mostly, except for like 12. At 12 to 12:30 when ABC News is on because there's no game shows. It's the only time I watch local programming.
Yeah. But so I'm thinking he was on the injury report this past week with a toe. So I'm almost wondering if he possibly broke a toe or his foot got stepped on, dislocated a toe or something, cuz his throws they were garbage all game. There was nothing. They weren't accurate. They were very off target no matter how many times he tried, no matter what happened. He was just off target. Even his throw to the linebacker to
Throw to a linebacker.
yes, our linebacker fullback.
Oh.
That would have been Landon Roberts, number 52.
I don't even try to pretend to know anybody that plays on the Patriots. I know like two people, three maybe.
He's a linebacker that.
You guys still have Burkhead?
Huh?
You guys still have Burkhead?
Yeah, he
Okay.
got one pass, but so Roberts is normally a linebacker, and because we've had a string of injuries at fullback, like 3 of them on IR, we've resorted to having a fullback or a linebacker become our fullback. And this past week, he actually ran a little wheel route out of the backfield, caught a high throw, juked a guy, and went for 38 yards for a touchdown. It was a good play.
Just sounds like it.
You have to Google that one. That's a good one.
I'll just take your word.
It's probably on the highlights. You want me to show you?
No, I'm fine.
You can come over here.
No. There's only 2 of us trying to get this rickety ship going and stay it afloat, so.
Do we just want to start and then when
That's
we get
what I'm
video?
thinking. We'll just keep moving on. We'll do what Travis should have did when I had that phone call.
Yep.
So.
And when Travis can join us whenever he wants to give up with that or gets it going.
I guess it's a good thing I didn't insert like inappropriate words to see if I can get Travis tripped up this week. So this week, like always, we're going to talk random sports. We got Nate's random ass sport of the week. Gail will not be joining us again for this week. I say she misses one more week that we're going to go ahead and hang on. Travis is pointing at me.
Keep your talking.
Okay, I'm going to keep my talking. I think if Gail misses one more week, she's off the show. Even though I heard that she's working on a potential beer sponsor, so maybe we keep her on. I don't know.
Maybe we keep her on as a back-end producer.
She could be a correspondent.
Yeah, correspondent. There we go.
Or like manager, like if we ever get to the point where we feel like we could do a live show. But after tonight, I feel like we don't have the capabilities of doing a live show.
I feel I feel like every IT person is asking Travis when's the last time he restarted his computer.
Yesterday, actually.
So then we got week 16. So then we can talk about the NFL, which includes Patriots news, the NFL week 16 recap, week 17. Nope.
Week 17 recap.
Yep. Playoffs. We're gonna talk about the playoffs, and we're
gonna go over our week 17 picks.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about and we're gonna make our playoff picks for the wild card weekend.
And fill out brackets.
Yes, and fill out brackets for anyone who wants to participate in our little bracket challenge.
Right.
So for the bracket challenge, quick rundown, you're picking all the games, pick who you pick. the lowest faces the highest seeds in your brackets. Doesn't stay on that same bracket format that was shared on the Facebook page earlier today. Make your picks. Either share them back on the Facebook page, send them to the...
It doesn't? Are you sure about that?
What?
No, you're talking about the lowest plays the highest?
Yes. Lowest plays the highest. The middle two play each other. That's how playoffs work.
Oh, so if Tennessee wins, they will play Baltimore. And then...
Correct. So if
Oh.
if Minnesota wins, they'll play San Francisco. But if New Orleans wins, they play Green Bay.
Huh.
So it's the brackets aren't. You have to kind of mix and match where they go because the lowest plays the highest, and then the two middle play each other.
Got it.
So you have to be a little more cautious when you're filling it out to make sure you
Well, I'm glad I got you, because then
place
you're
them
gonna
in the right place.
you're gonna be able to maybe. Though I still stand by my top two. And my number one, like it's getting to the top two, is the hard part. So actually, maybe one of my teams might progress forward, if I think it's gonna happen the way it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because you gotta they have to go against the right teams, otherwise your whole brackets are completely out of whack.
Yeah, I mean, even if you get the top two and you pick the winner, you can still lose the bracket.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, are we for the bracket? Are we doing the whoever picks the correct Super Bowl champion, or are we doing the most correct teams that win throughout the bracket?
So I think it's going to be a combination. So you have to have the most correct altogether and pick the winner. And if, say, you tie with that, then you have to input a final score. So a score total. So you don't have to say, friggin' Buffalo 20 and
Oh, we're up, Trask.
Minnesota 32. So what you'll end up doing is doing 52 for the combined score.
Okay, so you're just doing a combined score.
Yep.
Pretty much the over/under score.
Correct.
What your choice for that number would be.
Right. So yeah, if you think one team's gonna put up 20, the other team might put up 32. If you get, and that's 52. So then
Yep.
you're gonna just make it easier that way.
Sounds good. So we will. We have to. Maybe we can just under the right above the champion, put your number there. Will be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Little spot in between where the teams are and then the champion you choose. We'll put it right there.
Yep. And actually, I know. Oh, there we go. Way cleaner now. I had to just refresh my thing.
Yeah, I just had to do a lot of fighting with it.
Travis created brackets on his little spreadsheeter thing. Oh, wait, hang on.
There we go.
What happened?
Hey, Nate. I was gonna say your package.
See that?
Oh.
I can't. That's no bueno.
Yeah, I think I hit it on my way by.
Okay, so we are working. Everything's going. We are up and running now.
We are perfect.
We went from technical difficulties to aesthetic difficulties.
But me and Nate kind of ran through some things.
Yeah, I was listening. I was doing 17 different multitasking things all at the same time.
All right.
There we
So
go.
I did realize, though, while you're doing that Jeremy could easily replace either one of us.
without doing any kind of pre-prep, show prep.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's no question that he could just step right in and just roll right along.
I could do a whole podcast on my own just talking about sports.
He
It-
listens to enough of them.
It is really hard to do a podcast by yourself. I tried a test pilot for talking stuff where it was just me talking about a movie, and it sucked. And even when I just do like the missed connections on my own, even that's hard because I want to engage with somebody else. And yeah, it's
Oh
hard.
yeah, talking stuff is requires multiple people.
Right.
That's a more the merrier kind of show.
It is. It's like bring your friends.
Bring your grandmother.
Bring your family, except the kids.
Yeah.
No kids.
No children. It's almost like when you get together with a large group of people and you play Cards Against Humanity.
Yep.
That's what the Talking Stuff
That
podcast
is the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to come up. But it's always a good time.
Yes.
And you hope that whatever you say, one of them at least lands.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Thank God I was able to fix that.
All right, so let's keep on moving down the list then.
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to talk about the bowl games. We have, so this is all since the last show, so there's going to be some that are missing. So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, what about all the bowl games? Bitch, you know how many damn bowl games there are? This shit sucks.
You get a bowl game, and
Yeah.
you get a bowl game.
This took me like 3 days to do.
You gotta turn down your mic, dude. You're super loud.
You're super loud.
No, you did. You bumped up. You got a little excited over there.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, look, whatever. It's going to happen. I'm going to project my voice.
I think
You project is enough.
I think he's afraid I'm going to replace him now. So he's like, I gotta step my game up now.
Yeah, I got to step up. I got to get right in the microphone.
Yeah, and yours you don't need to, I don't think.
No, I still make out with it every show.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I gotta-
You like to put it in your mouth.
I do. All right. So the Walk-Ons Independence Bowl, Louisiana Tech beat Miami 14-0. Quick Lane Bowl, Pittsburgh beat Eastern Michigan 34-30. San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl, USC lost to Iowa 24-48. Academy Sports and Outdoor Texas Bowl, Oklahoma State lost to Texas A&M 21-24. The Military Bowl presented by North Group, Grumman, North Carolina beat Temple 55-13. New Era Pinstripe Bowl, Michigan State beat Wake Forest 27-21. The Cheez-It Bowl, Air Force beat Washington State 31-21. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the CFP semifinal, Oklahoma lost big time to LSU 63-28.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I don't know that there was a horrible missed pass interference call that I still can't get over. I mean, the guy got tackled. It was clear as day. I mean, the ref saw it and he just went, "No, I'll just let it go."
Yep, oops.
Was it Oklahoma that got tackled, or was it LSU?
LSU tackled the hell out of the guy.
They figured it wasn't even worth calling it at that point.
No, it was going back and forth. It was even at that point. The scores were even.
So it was like in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was. The teams were going back and forth up and down the field, and as soon as that happened, it's just LSU ran off with it.
The PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, which is another CFP semifinal, Clemson beat the Ohio State University 29-23. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Memphis lost to Penn State 39-53. Camping World Bowl, Notre Dame beat Iowa State 33-9. Capital One Orange Bowl, Florida beat Virginia 36-28. The Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, Western Kentucky beat Western Michigan 23-20. Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl, Mississippi State lost to Louisville 28-38. The Red Box Bowl, California.
And you get a bowl, and you get a bowl.
The California beat Illinois 35-20. The Valero Alamo Bowl, Utah beat Texas 38-10. AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Navy beat Kansas State 20-17. Thank you.
Belk Bowl, Virginia
I was
Tech
trying to
beat
open that.
Kentucky 37-30.
Thank you.
Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl,
They're great.
Florida lost to Arizona State 14-20. Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, Wyoming beat Georgia State 38-17. All-State Sugar Bowl, Georgia beat Baylor 26-14. The Rose Bowl, Oregon beat Wisconsin 28-27. The Outback Bowl, Minnesota beat Auburn 31-24. The Verbo Citrus Bowl,
We have to open that link.
Michigan
All right.
lost to
That's
Alabama
why I put the link there.
16-35.
I didn't realize you had put a link there.
Well, it says to get updates from today's games and announce the last of the bowl games to be played. I even put what we have to do on here. Just read. And Jeremy was helping out too. I was like, oh, great. Gotta send smoke signals over to Travis to get him to friggin'.
Okay,
I
so
didn't realize what you were trying to do.
So there's games playing today. I didn't
Yes.
update today's games on here.
Here you go.
Thank
Well,
you.
There's your bowl games.
Oh, Lord.
Lordy, lordy, lordy. It's probably way down.
Tax Slayer Georgia Bowl,
There you go. First and second.
Indy versus Tennessee.
That's going on now.
That's live.
Currently going on now. What is the
The Ticketmaster Birmingham Bowl is Boston College versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Boston College 38-6.
Is anybody surprised?
No, I mean,
BC's not what they used to be.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Hey, at least they got to play it this year. They were on a a weather delay again. Last year they did get canceled because of weather, so
Ah.
at least they got to play it this year.
There we go.
Tomorrow we have the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Ohio versus Nevada.
Yeah.
On Saturday,
That's Ohio and Nevada. Why did you say? Oh, never mind.
The
I
Idaho.
thought you were being sarcastic. I'm like, why are you saying the famous Idaho Potato Bowl? Idaho is not playing.
and then we have the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, USM versus Tulane.
The funny part is neither one of them are in the military.
Huh?
Neither one of those bowl games. Like
Oh, the
Teams
yeah.
playing.
yeah, teams playing. Usually those kind of games were used to be like military, like game, like
Yeah.
schools, and now it's just anybody.
Maybe they have a ROTC program.
Well, almost all colleges have an ROTC program nowadays.
Whatever.
On Monday we have the Lending Tree Bowl.
Oh, are we all the way to January 6th now?
Yes, we are. That's the next one.
Oh,
He's
and
just
that-
clearing
And then
out.
we have Louisiana
number one.
Raging.
Is that the Raging Cajuns?
It is
The Raging Cajuns.
versus Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that can Raging Cajun that?
Yeah.
I wanted you do it so well. I didn't want to. I wanted you to do it.
See, I haven't heard you do it.
I was kind of leading you up to do it, and you just weren't picking up.
I'm not the most observant person in the world.
And then on Monday, January 13th, we have the national championship game, Clemson versus LSU.
I want to know when they're going to finally fix their playoff way they do it to actually determine best.
They
Because
did.
They did.
There's
it-
a 4 teams.
Yeah.
Top 4.
So it's just the top 4?
Yes,
Yeah.
top 4 get a. The top 4 have bowl games.
Yeah.
1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, just like the NFL playoffs would be.
And then that last
Winners-
team gets.
Winner versus winner, and then
Yeah.
the winner that wins the final game, the championship game, is the best team in college.
Okay, so that's how they're
Yes, that's
figuring
how
it.
they adjusted their postseason to make it more of a playoff style. Give it more than just 1 versus 2.
Right.
That's why.
Because 1 killed 4 without a problem.
Exactly, and 2 and 3 went back and forth. That game was close as could be.
You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's not an actual like playoff setting for them.
Well, there is. That's why teams fight so hard to be in that top 4 place.
Because only the top 4 get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So only the top 4 teams get a bid for the championship.
All right. So
All right.
moving on.
Yep.
Former NBA Commissioner David Stern, the former commissioner, passed away yesterday at the age of 77. He had passed away from a brain hemorrhage he had suffered 3 weeks prior. Stern was the commissioner of the NBA from 1984 to 2014.
Wow, that's quite.
That's a
time
long run.
to be a commissioner.
Yeah.
That's a 30-year run right there.
Yep. So going into basketball standings, this is as of this morning at 8:18. So if there's any games currently playing, well,
I don't care.
I don't think they'd be over if they were. The basketball
Yeah.
games run long.
so the Milwaukee
Not
Bucks
as long as the baseball games, though.
in the Eastern Conference, Milwaukee Bucks are in first place with a 31-5 record. The Celtics are 23-8. The Miami Heat are at 24-9. Number 4 is the Toronto Raptors, 23-11, and the Indiana Pacers are 22-12. Moving over to the Western Conference, we have the Los Angeles Lakers still sitting in first place with a 27-7. The Denver Nuggets are 23-10. LA Clippers are still in third place with a 23-11. Do you remember when both the LA teams were first and second place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first 3 games.
Yeah, and then the Nuggets took over that.
The Houston Rockets are sitting at number 4. They are 23-11. And the Dallas Mavericks finish out your top 5 of the Western Conference at a 21-12.
You do realize the Clippers are only the 3 by 1 loss.
I do.
Yeah.
Actually, in the number 4 slot, there's something weird where, like, depending on the day I look at it, depends on who's in that spot.
It depends if it's LA or Houston.
No, it depends if it's Houston and the Indiana Pacers or
Yes.
something like that. Even though they're on the other side, but
Right.
there's one of these where the 5th slot, it might be the Pacers and somebody else. The other team has a 23-11
Yo.
or 23-12, and they have a 22-12. It's
Ah.
just there's a 1 game difference that separates them, so it just depends.
No, fun.
Yeah.
All right, enough basketball talk.
Yeah.
Yep. So moving on to hockey.
Oh, yes.
Am I still going, or do you want to go?
I can go for a little while.
All right, you go ahead.
The Blue Jackets, John Tortola.
Tortella?
Tortilla?
Tortella? Tortilla.
Tortilla. Blue Jackets coach John Tortilla was fined $20,000 for comments he made about officiating after his team's loss Sunday night against the Chicago Blackhawks. Additionally, he was assessed a conditional fine of $25,000. That's the league will collect if he behaves in a similar manner, in which that money will go to the NHL Foundation.
Did anyone hear this guy?
No.
I was wondering, what did he say?
He laid into the officiating. The issue was towards the very end of the game.
Wasn't it like too many people on the ice or something at one point?
No. So
Okay.
at the very
Carry on.
end of the overtime, they blew the whistle with 19.3 seconds left, give or take,
Yeah.
and they let the clock run down to 18.1.
Oh, jeez.
He complained about it. They said, no, it's fine. The people in New York or wherever oversees the NHL games, they didn't butt in to fix the time, figuring it's 1.2 seconds, it shouldn't matter. Well, come down to the very last seconds of the game, a guy from his team scored a goal, but it happened less than like 0.2 of a second after the clock ran out. So his team doesn't win in overtime. Now they go to the shootout. His goalie gets hurt in the shootout, so he loses his goalie and loses the game.
Oh.
So he laid into the officiating at the game. He laid into the national officiating that's supposed to be overseeing everything, because he complained about it during the game when it happened, and no one fixed it at that point in time.
But the call an offside's a minute and a half later.
Exactly.
Mm.
that you can challenge it, and 10 minutes later, if you've been in the zone the whole time, they'll still give you it. It's the NHL.
That's always fun.
Okay, Winter Classic. Continue.
The NHL 2021 Winter Classic, after heavy persistence from the Minnesota Wild owner Craig
Leopold.
the 2020
I got you on the names, apparently.
Yeah, the names always get me.
Just the names?
Well, and words, all words. The 2021 Winter Classic will be held at Minnesota's Target Field, which is the home to the Minnesota Twins.
You know, he doesn't understand what punctuations are, so.
Punctuations? What are those things? Those are squiggly lines at the end of the words?
Exactly.
Oh, there's a cat. A black cat is taking the field. A black cat is running from the 20 to the near side.
All right. So
All right.
the hockey standings in the Eastern. The only thing I didn't update is the by conference thing. So I'm just gonna say who.
By now they should have figured it out.
No, because the Dallas Stars moved up, and I'm sure they're probably third in the Central. But
Yeah.
Washington Capitals are 41, 27, and 9 and 5. The Boston Bruins are in second with the Western Conference. They are 41, 24, 7 and 10. The New York Islanders are 38, 25, 10 and 3. Pittsburgh Penguins, formerly known as the Pittsburgh Steelers, are 39, 24, 11 and 4. The Carolina Hurricanes are 40, 24, 14 and 2. Moving west again, we have the St. Louis Blues. They are 41, 26, 9 and 6. The Colorado Avalanche are 40, 23, 13 and 4. I feel like I'm calling out the daily numbers.
That's because you gotta say games played, so at least we know how many games which numbers the games.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars have played 41 games. They are 23 wins, 14 losses, and 4 overtime losses.
See, that doesn't sound like daily numbers.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights are 43 games played, 22 wins, 15 losses, and 6 overtime losses. The Arizona Coyotes are 42, 22, 16, and 4.
And that is your standings. We got no Bruins news this week because they don't give us much news. They're kind of quiet, aren't they, Jeremy?
Yeah, they're okay. They give a little, but I mean it's hockey. They do more playing than talking. So
Yeah.
That and most of them were like Canadian or Scandinavian
Yeah,
or
most of them
and
don't
then the
speak.
nicest people in the world.
and they don't speak English.
Oh, they speak
Or
English.
their English isn't very clear.
Their English is better than half of ours.
I do love like the intermission periods where you got the Canadians just talking. It just makes me happy. All right.
Oh, before we move on, can we look into this standings for next week and possibly figure out, instead of doing the top 5 teams, do who would make the playoffs if the season would end today? That way you have the actual top teams that would be in there, kind of giving an update more of a what
Well-
you'd see come playoff time.
So I will be traveling next week. I'll
I
be
know.
traveling Monday. We're in a long day Tuesday and traveling Wednesday. So Jeremy, this is where you
You can
I-
put in
you're-
whatever
you're
you want.
producing-
I am
you're
thinking-
producerial.
I'm thinking out loud. I'm giving you an idea. So next week when it looks different,
Oh, I'm good with
Oh.
it.
you'll know
Though,
why.
actually, I appreciate you doing that because if I see something that doesn't look like what I did, I am going to lose my shit.
Yeah, I know you're gonna get completely confused. So
I
just-
hate it when something moves an eighth of an inch on the desk.
Oh yeah, you should have seen when I put the board between us. You would have thought I had killed his dog.
It was the worst thing in my life. I couldn't figure out what was going on. It was just bad. But yeah, no, that's a good idea. If you want to go ahead and make the
I'll
way
look
with that,
into it. I'll figure it out.
should be easy.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
sure it
you
will.
watch a lot more hockey than I'm able to half the time.
I'm sure it's just a quick search on a sporting
NHL.com.
website. Yeah. All right, so now
All
it's
right.
time for Nate's random ass sport of the week. And this week I bring you bog snorkeling.
Bog snorkeling.
Bog snorkeling.
What the hell is bog snorkeling?
Let me tell you what bog sport snorkeling in. The world's premier bog snorkeling event is held in August each year along the dense one-ride peat bog near Lane. Whew. Jeremy, you got this one?
I'm sorry. I'm
Do
typing.
you even have a
something
guess?
else. Word.
Landward?
Lin.
Landward. Wells. In
Poise? Pose?
Poles.
Poles.
Even
Poi-
though there's no L?
Poise.
Poise?
Wells.
Poise Wales.
Whales.
Bog snorkeling was a lot of these sports I bring you guys are from overseas.
Well, it's because they have some of the best sports over there, apparently.
Bog snorkeling was conceived in 1976 as many great ideas over a pint of beer at a local pub.
Well, so is golf. At least this sounds more fun.
With the first World Bog Snorkeling Championship held in 1985. The race was along a 55-meter, 60-yard bog trench in which contestants must complete 2 lengths. Conventional swing strokes are not allowed, though snorkels and flippers are mandatory and wetsuits are optional but advisable. There are competitions in men's, ladies, and juniors categories, which attract up to 150 entrants.
Wow.
In 2011, a new champion emerged. Andrew Holmes of West Warwickshire smashed the existing record for the return lap along the bog, finishing in 84 seconds, being the old record by a whopping 6 seconds.
Wow.
In recent years, they
Are
have...
we sure that wasn't our Olympian that we sent that has like 30 different
But you can't
medals?
You
do
mean
a
Michael
conventional
Phelps?
swim. So that's the thing
got
that I'm
Phelps
wondering
there.
about is, like, how is a non-conventional swim? Like, you have
what
to,
is
like-
what is not a,
Well,
a doggy
I mean,
paddle?
you have to have snorkel and flippers on. So
Yeah.
I mean,
What's a conventional swim? What do they? I want to know what they consider a conventional swim.
We'll have to YouTube these videos
Yes,
later.
we will.
In recent years, they have added other events held in the month before the bog snorkeling in the same bog. Mountain bikes, bog snorkeling, and big bog triathlon events. Riders compete on specially prepared mountain bikes. In 2009, Brian Evans from Brigaden in South Wales set a new world record in the World Mountain Bike Bog Snorkeling Championships.
Mountain bike bog snorkeling.
He completed the 2 lengths of 135-foot murky bog in 54.91 seconds to put himself into the Guinness Book of World Records. In 2012, the World Alternative Games was organized, by which bog snorkeling championships was part of that event. The World Alternative Games are planned to be held every 2 years.
now this sounds like something I want to get into. World Alternative Games.
The triathlon is pretty legit. I saw that. I was like, oh, snap. but it's Travis is currently.
Yeah, I pulled it up.
It's like it's
It's
literally like a little turtle ditch. It's
Yeah.
it's enough room for one person to swim.
It's like the ditches you see.
It's a down and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a down and back, and it looks like your hand against the bottom of the thing.
Yeah, it looks like you're almost crawling.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like I think the fact, like, could you imagine the conversation in 1975? Oh no! Don't believe that we should have
No, he was a lot more drunk than that.
Hang on.
No, it was probably. I bet you can't go swim down that bog quicker than I can.
I think that we can maybe some.
I'll bet you a pint.
Yeah.
I bet that your fat self of can't swim down the bog.
Guarantee it was. I bet I can outswim you. I bet I can swim faster than you. All right, let's go. Let's find somewhere.
Let's find a body of water somewhere.
Up the bog. Bet you a pint.
I believe that there's a bog somewhere with fresh water. My accents are pretty shitty, aren't they?
They're on point.
Somehow I went Irish. I do believe.
Okay, moving on.
Well, it's kind of like the crazy Scots when they invented golf.
Do we need to move?
We're gonna hit this ball once down into a hole. Fuck no! We're gonna do it 18 fucking times.
Hell no! We're gonna keep hitting this ball until we hit the ball.
Oh, is it just gonna straight down the line? No.
No!
We're gonna put sand and water in this shit.
Isn't that a Robin Williams
It is.
stand up?
Probably the best man that's ever lived.
All right.
I miss that guy. He was so funny.
So Monday was the infamous Black Monday. And for those that don't follow football, Black Monday is the time of the year where head coaches manage to get fired.
And other personnel in the offices.
Yep. It's when the league execs decide and ownerships of teams decide to
Cut ties with certain personnel.
it's their version of spring cleaning.
Yeah.
Good way to put it.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling it?
It is. So we're going to go ahead and start with Washington. After letting head coach Jay Gruden go in October, the Washington Redskins have hired former Panthers head coach Ron Rivera to become their new head coach. Ron Rivera will also be bringing Jack Del Rio to be his defensive coordinator. The team also part ways with their president, Bruce Allen. The New York Giants, fired their head coach, Pat Shurmur, but will retain their general manager, Dave Gettleman. Currently, the Giants could be interested in current head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Jason Garrett, depending on what happens in Dallas. Other possible coaches could be heading to New York is Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, and just for you all to know, he's on this list a bit. Offensive coordinator Eric Buemi, and Cowboys passing game coordinator, defensive backs coach Chris Richard, who actually interviewed today.
Did he?
Yep, the Cleveland Browns, and there's a couple others on the list too, from what I heard on the radio earlier. The Cleveland Browns decided to move on from their head coach, Freddie Kitchens, after the last game of the season. The Browns, like New York Giants, have requested to interview Josh McDaniels from the Patriots, in addition to have interest in Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman, 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, and Bills offensive coordinator Brian DeBall.
If I was the Bills, I wouldn't let him go anywhere. The Bills are actually doing quite well
The
this
Bills
year.
don't have a choice.
Real? Well,
They can still interview him, but he doesn't have to.
right.
No, they can't block it unless it's a lateral move. If he's going to a better position, they cannot block the move.
Really?
No,
Yes.
but they could maybe sway interest into the person and be like,
They
hey, we
could.
really
They-
want you to be
they-
here.
Hey,
they-
Brian,
Yeah.
we'll offer you
yes,
more money.
Yes, but
Kind of
if
like what they did to McDaniels a couple years ago with the Colts.
yes, but so they can try to persuade them, but if you're going to be a head coach, that kind of comes with a lot more title, a lot more well known.
Yeah.
So,
A lot more odds of being fired.
Yeah, but a lot more odds to shine and make yourself well known and more desirable for other teams as well.
Right.
So, yes, they can try to persuade them, but they cannot block the guy from taking the position if he chooses to
Go.
go. They can block him from interviewing till after the season's over, but teams that do that, those coaches usually don't want to stay around.
Right. That's true.
So the teams are kind of forced into allowing him to interview.
The Carolina Panthers moved on from their head coach, Ron Rivera, who had no problem finding a new job. at the beginning of the month and have already interviewed former Packers head coach Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy also is going to be interviewing in Cleveland. The team plans on interviewing Baylor coach Mike Rule and others like Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels. The Atlanta Falcons, are not making a Black Monday change on their and on Friday, December 27th, announced that they will retain their head coach Dan Quinn and general manager Thomas Dimitroff for another season at least. The owner said that the team's drive at the end of the season gave hope to the coaching staff and the GM that still have the respect of the players and could very well have a chance to do better next season. The Miami Dolphins released their offensive coordinator Chad O'Shea and O-line coach David Demigliomo and safeties coach Tony Oden. The NFL Hard Knocks series, the NFL is currently looking at the Denver Broncos, the Cardinals, the Lions, and the Steelers to be on the next season. In order for a team to be on the show, they must not have one of the following. They cannot have a first-year head coach in place.
Yep.
They cannot have a playoff berth within the last 2 seasons, and they cannot have been on a show within the last 10 years.
Which all of them qualify.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the only 5 that do. Well, thank God that the Packers got a new head coach, because I would hate and love for them to be on Hard Knocks.
But no, they made the postseason.
Yeah, you made the postseason.
Right,
this year.
that's what I'm saying. Because
they almost didn't.
Right.
They tried like hell.
When I was
and
reading,
they tried like hell to not be in second place this past weekend.
they swept the division. They swept their conference. That's all I gotta say.
But it didn't look like they were going to early on in that game. I was like, oh, Nate's watching that game. They're losing.
I was in and out. My son was trash talking me during that game.
Do you blame him?
No. No, he's a ship jumper. He started the season in Oakland.
Yup.
And like 2 or 3 games ago, he's now in New Orleans.
Of course.
I was gonna say, did he just jump across the water to San Francisco?
No.
That would have been a smaller jump.
Though he's got this badass Saints hoodie, and Logan's got this badass Patriots hoodie that I am super jealous of. I'm trying to find a Packers adult equivalent.
Do they have those like Under Armour hoodie style ones?
They're like have you seen my blue spider jacket?
I think so. Maybe.
That's got like the little squares in it.
I think so. I don't know.
Or my black spider. All right. Well, it's like that.
Okay. All right. So, Pats. Let's get to the Pats news. Not too much going on this week in Patriots land, other than them talking about this being Brady's last week to be playing in here, which is neither here nor there. And I'm sure Nate would love to make a comment on that. The NFL clears the Patriots football staff of wrongdoing in sideline video scandal. Penalties are still likely, though. With the NFL, while the New England Patriots may have broken the rules when they record footage of the Cincinnati Bengals sideline, the NFL does not believe the Patriots were doing so to gain an advantage on the football field. According to the Washington Post report, the NFL has found no connection between the Patriots' football operations and the rule violations. The Patriots have been under investigation by the NFL after admitting a production crew affiliated with Kraft Sports has taken video footage of the Cincinnati sidelines during their December 8th game at Cleveland in violation of the NFL rules. New England issued a statement explaining that the crew was filming a segment for Do Your Job, a web series showing Patriots employees working behind the scenes. According to the Post report, the Patriots will likely still face
Has anybody actually ever
penalties.
watched that show?
I actually looked it up. They have a couple of cool ones that I watched on like basically, but nobody like the people you never hear about and never see,
Like
the grounds crew.
Let's say like the equipment manager,
Yeah.
Peggy in accounting.
Yeah,
exactly. People you never know do anything really.
Right. It's these people behind the scenes people. So it's kind of interesting that it takes, because you think, oh, it's just the coach and this, that, and the other thing, and maybe some scouting people, but really it's like so many more people than you would ever
So it's like
think.
our Jeremy, our Gail,
Yeah.
our Mo.
Yeah, all the
Who's
people that
really
were at-
behind the scenes because she doesn't ever.
Yeah, she's never here, and she's.
I think I've seen her twice in my entire life.
But you look at her picture all day when it's on the screen.
I do, but I think I physically have seen her twice, and I've never spoken to her. But we're Facebook friends now, so we got that going.
Ah,
I
there
know.
you go.
So early,
It's
random
official.
story. She goes, "Yeah, I just friend requested Nate Hanks." I'm like, "Who?" I was like,
You only see me every week.
"What? Who?" Because I assumed she was already friends with you. I was like,
You're like, there's another Nate Hanks. That's weird.
That's where I was really confused. I'm like, "Oh, you mean Nate?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm like, oh, "Okay."
I'm pretty sure there's no way there's another Nate Hanks. Well, actually, there is, but
Okay, Facebook, tell us.
According to the Post, the Patriots will still likely face penalties, but it's unlikely coach Bill Belichick, who has maintained throughout that he wasn't involved, would face discipline, citing a source the Post reported. They said it remains likely at this point, barring the last-minute uncovering of more damaging evidence, that the NFL will impose penalties consistent with those handed out in recent years in other cases of game day infractions. That would mean the Patriots would probably be facing a fine in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and possibly the loss or reduction in value of a draft pick. There is no timetable on when the NFL will announce the investigation results or penalties resulting. The Patriots likely face a harsher penalty than other franchises would because of the Patriots' Spygate history in 2007. The Patriots were fined $750,000 and a first-round draft choice for improperly recording an opponent's sideline. And that's basically the only major news in the Pats, other than everybody saying that this is going to be Brady's last game at Gillette, and that next year he'll be somewhere else.
I mean,
There was even a rumor that he might be going to Green Bay.
why?
I don't know.
That's a shitty rumor.
I
That makes no sense.
I know. But that's what I was
If
like.
if they didn't bring back their own quarterback after he retired 5 times, they're not bringing Brady over.
Exactly. That's what
They already have the potentially greatest quarterback that had ever played the game. Why do they need the other guy?
because they got somebody that's actually won the Super Bowl more than once.
They want the greatest of at times, or do they want the greatest of all times?
Well, that's why they would bring Brady.
For the at?
No, for the all.
Oh, I thought we were going for the at.
No, you already have the at.
No, we have the all.
No, he's not going to get past San Francisco. Don't worry about that.
No. Though we do need to do that for an upcoming show is who we think the best, like the top 5. We can maybe go top 10, but at least the top 5
Ever?
best quarterbacks that are not playing,
Yes.
and go that way. Because
Go
I
that
feel
way.
like if we go who are currently playing included with that list,
It would be skewed.
yeah, obviously I already know who you're going to say. And I probably know who Jeremy's going to say.
No, that hasn't played or has played.
That's
we
no
went-
longer playing. And I
Right.
almost want to go with who is Hall of Fame eligible.
Who's not in the Hall of Fame already?
Who is not Hall of Fame eligible.
Oh, jeez.
So that takes anybody that's retired in the last 3 to 5 years off the table.
Right.
So that takes Manning off of the table.
Well, I think, yeah, because he hasn't gotten in yet.
Yeah, he's not eligible yet.
Not for the 3 years.
Right. So that's almost
years,
where I
I
want to
think.
go with
2 or
that.
3
is-
years, yeah.
So anything that's older than, they have to have not played in the last 5 years plus.
Yeah, so
5 plus years.
2014 or 2015.
Oh, so when Brady was still in his prime?
I'm just saying. I think that's something that we should do on a future episode is we do our top 5 or 10
Well, we have
all-time quarterbacks. We have time moving forward, especially in the
do.
off season.
right between the conference games and the Super Bowl, we have a week of nothingness because
No,
that is
there's-
Pro Bowl week.
But there's always
There's always football news.
there's
Oh,
always
yeah.
football news. It'll probably be Patriot news because that seems to be the common occurrence.
Well, that'll be when
It's only the common occurrence because there's New England fans here. If I had another Packers fan, I'm sure I'd be plopping off some Packers news for y'all.
Well, you
Well,
can-
no, I'm talking national media wise.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
like
Somebody will
seems like
say.
the week between between the week of the Pro Bowl, there's always some breaking Patriot something.
well,
Well, that's
especially
only if they're in it,
I
really.
was gonna say, let's say the Patriots lose.
They'll be
There's gonna be
quiet.
so much talk about Brady and whether or not he's going to retire.
Right, and we're,
Exactly, Patriot news.
whether he's retiring or where is he going? Because he
Yeah.
says he claims in the last in the last 3 interviews he's done, he is not retiring. He'll be playing next year's period.
I have a question,
Yeah.
and this goes for both of you because you guys are New England fans.
Yes.
Do you have an issue where Brady seems like he's elevated over the team, or do you care? Like, it almost seems like it's not the Patriots, it's Tom Brady and the Patriots. Like, Tom Brady is as significant or more significant than the team itself.
Almost like the Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers kind of thing.
No, because even then they'll say like, Devontae Adams, or they'll key in specific players. But I feel like Brady is the Patriots, and the Patriots is Tom Brady. There's nobody else that plays for the Patriots other than Tom Brady.
But there is.
Right.
Right.
But when it goes
you feel
into
like
the
too
media,
many people in the media.
right? It just seems like he is celebrated almost on the level of like Joe Paterno at Penn State, where minus the showering with children and the rapey stuff, but like he was Penn State.
Yeah.
He was at a god level and nothing could touch him. I feel like that's Brady at New England, where he takes all of it, and Belichick gets some too. But I feel like because Brady is the quarterback, as everybody knows, is the most important position, or it's the most glorified position.
Glorified and blamed position.
Right.
For wins and losses, yeah.
That I think to me, and I think this is part of the reason why I don't like the Patriots, is because of the level in which Tom Brady has taken the team, and it just doesn't seem like they're a team anymore. Kind of like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
Oh, yes, Jerry Jones.
Like, Jerry Jones has elevated to the point where, like, I look at the Cowboys, and all I see is rich white dude. Like, that's it. Like
Old rich white dude.
Right.
I'm surprised he's still alive, kind of rich white dude.
And I'm almost expecting the interview with his head coach being like, all right, you know what? We're going to let you go. And then it's going to come out that Jerry Jones is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, they're not going to let him go. They're going to move him somewhere else because he loves him, because he does exactly what he's told to do.
He's Jerry Jones' puppet. Jerry Jones is the head coach currently. Jason Garrett is just a puppet.
Right. He just does what he's told to do.
So again, going back to my question, do either of you feel like Tom Brady takes away from the Patriots? Grant, I know I understand his play. I understand how he is as a quarterback. I understand the 6 championship rings. I understand all that. Take those out and just look at the person with the team.
I don't think that he is over glorified, but I have a feeling that he is held to a higher level standard than the team itself.
But does it aggravate you?
Does it aggravate me?
Yeah. Do you think it's unfair, like, to the rest of the team? Like, if you go to play for Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah.
He was what, in Cincinnati?
No.
He used to be.
He was Cincinnati, then Atlanta.
Yeah. So, like, he was a significant part of both of those teams.
Right. When they were both trash teams, yes. But he was never a number one. And
right. But I'm just saying,
brought him in to be a number one almost.
But I'm taking that out. Like, Mohamed Sanu is a name throughout the league.
Right.
I'm going to take everybody else out of New England, because really, outside of Brady and Edelman, like,
and White,
even that though, like, I live here. I know maybe 3 players on that whole team.
Now,
and that's we'll go 4, and that's because Mohamed Sanu's on there. Like, I can't tell you who any of their tight ends are.
No, well,
I can't tell. I'm Patrick Chung. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, there's very few people, but I can go to other teams and I can start naming off people fairly easily.
Oh yeah,
because they're a team.
Well, this year also has just been. This year the Pats are just a bunch. Literally, that offense is a bunch of no names.
Well, even their defense to me, like the whole team itself is just
defense is a lot of big names.
Like, I still thought that was it Paul Hogan or Chris Hogan or
Chris Hogan, yes.
I still thought he was playing until I found out he wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, he is playing, just not for the Patriots.
Right.
Right.
Well,
and
not anymore. He's on.
Well,
season ended.
Yeah, his season's done.
Oh, is it? See, I don't even know that. But like,
he went to another team.
But so, Jeremy, what do you feel? I got Travis's word that he seems like he doesn't care at all. But like,
it's not that I don't care. I just don't. I think that he takes the good. He gets praised a lot for when things go right, but when things go wrong, everybody blames him. Because like this season, everybody's been blaming him. And even though he has one, maybe two weapons, really, when it comes down to it, he's been blamed that he can't get to these balls to these rookies or to these first-year
He still
guys.
has one of the better offensive lines, though, too.
No. This year they were ranked, amazingly enough, for some odd reason, they were ranked 10th.
Still, that's good.
But when you consider what they've given up this year,
But
that they shouldn't have been ranked 10th.
But they're still what, 13 and whatever, 12 and 4,
12 and 4.
That's still a crazy record.
Amazingly enough, everybody else in the AFC, their offensive lines were in the top 7. It's just that
Anyway, so I'm still
line
going to
this
say that
year
you don't
is-
care.
It's not that I don't care. I just think that he has earned the ability to take the good, and now he's getting given the bad. And he's gotten the bad before, but not to this point like he has. So this year, they're really, like, everyone in
I
the
still
national
feel like it's
media.
every year. Every year is the same year when it comes to the Patriots. It's always Tom Brady. And if it's not Tom Brady, it's Bill Belichick. Nobody cares. And somewhat
this year
of
really is the defense.
and somewhat of Gronkowski. But, like, really, for as long as I can remember, it's always Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, New England Patriots. And I was even going to add Belichick into this, but I guess I'm going to add it now, is it almost seems like Tom Brady is the Patriots.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is the Patriots. The Patriots don't have their own identity.
Well, they are. It's the issue that you're facing is you've had the same coach quarterback in the same high-profile positions for going on 20 years.
Right.
Yep.
But does that bother either of you? It bothers me, and I'm not a fan.
That they've been playing.
No,
that they've
no,
been
that
together
it's-
for 20 years, or
No, that
or that everybody talks about him all the time.
it's because it's not a team. They've individualized people on the team.
Well, that's
And
the
that's the
media.
problem I
not-
have.
That's the
that's-
media.
that's
Right,
not
and I
the-
get it.
And so when you watch,
But
all
so okay,
so-
so even
so-
with that though, does that bother you that
that the media does it.
that you have two people that have been individualized by the media?
No, because that means they're doing something right.
But does it?
Well, so I was actually watching like the pre-games of this last week, and a lot of the games like when all the teams are announced. The Pats are one of the few teams that comes out as a group, as all
Not
together.
anymore.
Really, I did not.
Almost every team nowadays comes out as
Yeah.
a group.
So on this past weekend, I saw a lot of teams come out individualized, especially the ones that were playing to make
But see,
so like
see,
Seattle
you're-
made sure that they like individualized their players this past week.
but you're avoiding the question by trying to answer a different question. So like
Nate, to tell you, no, I'm not.
you don't. It's not bothering
'Cause
you.
It's the media. It's not the
But-
coach or the quarterback.
But
Yeah.
but say
Let's
like
refer to it
if you
that
look
way.
at Lamar Jackson,
Yep.
when people talk to him and they try to praise him, he quickly defects everything to the team effort. Does Brady defect back to the team effort, or does he just kind of
no, he
roll with it?
defects back to a team effort a lot.
But I still feel like it's just, from what I perceive, it just seems like
a
they've
lot-
made eyes and team in New England.
No, so the media has tried. The media's done a great job.
I
of
would
making,
say I think they succeeded.
they've done a great
And
job
again,
of
this
working
is
on it.
this is coming from an outsider.
But
obviously.
when you listen to the interviews, which I doubt you would actually listen to the interviews,
I really don't care.
they always talk about They always talk about we had a bad game. We just gotta go out and work harder and this, that, and the other thing. Or that
Brady's a we, not a me person.
right. He's always like, so and so had a great catch, and so had a great pass, and so had a great fumble recovery, and he's never that I threw it for this many yards
he
or
praised I couldn't tell you how many weeks this year he's praised the defense on
Yeah.
their stellar performance, keeping them in the game,
yeah. It's been
scoring points, things
and
like
even
that.
when he has his phenomenal years, he says that it wasn't my throwing the ball; it was your catching the ball that really mattered, or your ability to stop the run.
Now, Giselle, on the other hand, she might have a different opinion because we know you can't throw and catch the ball at the same person, according to her.
Right. Edelman sure's worked on it though.
But Marcus Mariota did it last year and scored a touchdown off it. So
I still can't believe that Jameis Winston went 30 for 30.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, that has to be on the podcast this week.
And it wasn't, but yeah, I totally forgot about it until just now when the throw and catch.
Hold on, 30-30. What happened?
30 touchdowns,
And
30
interceptions.
Oh.
Legit
Okay.
NFL 30 for
Oh,
30.
isn't he only second to his brother? His older brother?
No idea. But
But so, did you see how his 30th interception happened?
No.
No.
Oh, yes, that was the end
in
of the
overtime.
That was the Houston.
Threw a
Tennessee.
pick 6 to lose the game.
Yeah,
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
that was the Tampa Bay game. I heard all about
Well,
that.
Jameis Winston is the quarterback for Tampa Bay.
Right, They lost in the greatest Tampa Bay fashions.
Tampa Bay lost in a Tampa Bay game. Go figure.
I mean that's like Browns fashion right there.
Well, considering Mo and Amanda were the only ones that picked them.
You know what? I really want Mike McCarthy to go to Cleveland.
I think he'd do good with the young quarterback.
I do. I agree. I think he'd do really well Baker Mayfield. He's a very Aaron Rodgers-esque type of player, minus the interception ratio. But I think Mike McCarthy might be the soldering iron for that team.
You need a well-established head coach. I don't think McDaniels will be
Soldering
good
iron.
there.
I like that.
Yeah, thanks.
I think he needs a welder though.
No, you can solder those pieces back together.
I don't think you could solder OBJ back together.
I think he might be enough to wrangle him in, though. I really do.
I think you have to have a well-established coach, like
Yeah,
someone who hasn't done it before, like Freddie Kitchens. Not gonna happen.
No,
I don't
No.
even think Josh McDaniels could handle that much.
no.
no. And that kind of to me, that goes with the legacy of New England coaches going to other teams and expecting the full Belichick philosophy.
Right, McDaniels already struck out with that kind of
Ideals
yeah.
in Denver
See, I see McDaniels going to, like, Carolina.
or the Giants.
No.
I don't know if you go to the Giants.
I don't think he'll go to the Giants.
Why not?
Who else is looking? We got New York, Cleveland, Carolina, and the Falcons kept theirs.
Yeah.
And Dolphins.
Yes.
But they
Dolphins
only
kept-
moved their
yeah.
coordinators.
and they already replaced him.
Right.
Did they?
Yeah,
Who-
with some 70-something-year-old guy
Nice.
out of retirement, hasn't been in the league for a few years.
All right,
Perfect.
well, fair
Hey,
enough.
it worked for the past offensive line coach.
My
That's because he came back. They didn't.
That's
They
true.
didn't replace him.
my make a quarterback in Madden plays for the the Dolphins.
Your naked quarterback?
My make a quarterback, so you can do like franchises and stuff, and you can do like a QB1. You play him through college,
Oh.
and you progress his personality and all that, and he gets drafted. And I end up going to Miami.
You went to Miami.
I hate their playbook. I fucking hate it so bad. Oh my god, it hurts. I try to play and it's like, what is going on here?
Doesn't help that they don't have good receivers or nothing.
They're decent enough in Madden to actually be worth a damn.
But they're only good at Madden, right?
Yeah, it's just I can't with the playbook. I
Do,
really
do
need.
you have the same records that they did in real life right now?
No, what's funny is New England had like a 4 and something record. I was like, where is this? How is this happening?
Maybe you're seeing the past.
And Andrew Luck is still in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's definitely the past.
Well, it goes with that with every thing that happened. So whatever reason the rosters didn't update for some.
Maybe it's just not connected.
Yeah.
So they replaced him with Chan Gailey.
Who's Chan Gailey?
Chad Gailey?
Chan Gailey.
Chan Gailey. That name sounds.
It sounds familiar,
Yeah.
but I don't know who that is.
67 is coming out of retirement. Did offensive last coaching during 2016 as the Jets OC.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who I want to see come back? Rex Ryan.
Sexy Rexy?
I want
I
to see
don't-
Rex Ryan back.
I don't think he's gonna come off the booth.
I don't either,
He's
but I
getting,
would.
No,
he's
he-
getting paid too much to do that.
I would like to see him
He
come
likes
back.
to wear
though.
those jackets.
He is an ugly man.
He-
He's very entertaining though.
Him and his feet. He loves his feet.
I think he's got dentures. Like his whole mouth and face, and the way he wears jackets just disturbs me. It bothers me so much.
It bothers you?
It does.
Why does it bother you?
It just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like the jacket
Does
that
it
he's
make you
wearing.
feel dirty?
No, like his jacket just seems over big.
Yeah.
Like he was a fat guy and he still wears a fat guy jacket and it doesn't fit him right. Like he can't afford new jackets. But then I realized that he still is fat and
Right.
there's no way to like tailor a jacket to like his body style without him making him look like the Grimace?
No, because his top is a little bit skinnier, but his bottom is like the size
Right.
of a
He's like
freight
a
train.
Grimace.
Yeah, a grimace is a good way to put it.
He's just got really just big teeth and like a broad smile like it's fake.
So maybe he needs a microphone in front of his face to help him.
That's true. I do have my bad grill behind this microphone.
That's how we all work.
All right, we recapping?
Jeremy doesn't even do it on video. He just shows it in a picture. So, yeah, we'll
Jeremy's
recap.
all sprawled out and shit over there.
Is he laying down?
He's got his feet up, hanging with the dog.
So, this week we had a 4-way tie. The Watson clan took it first place. Me, Mo, Jeremy, and Gail. No! We all had 10. Nate, you and Alan came in second with 9. And Amanda brought up the rear with 8.
What's up, Doc?
So, first game on Sunday at 1 o'clock, we had the Detroit Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers. Beginning of that game looked pretty awful, and it got close towards the end, too.
Oh, I had a tough time even picking that game because I thought that Detroit had a chance of winning.
Oh, they did. It looked like it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, Green Bay's losing. They're not showing up in the first half.
This
Nate must be
shows
watching.
how much I know my team. That if I'm questioning games,
Yeah.
like usually it's because we lose. And the fact that we managed to sweep the NFC North is
Yeah, I don't know.
ridiculous.
I don't know how that managed to happen.
I don't either because we generally lose at
Because
least
I
one or
expected
two of these
you
games.
to be playing this weekend with us.
This is the first time in 10 years that we haven't played in a wild card. And this is the first time in 10 years that you all have played in the wild card.
Right. Last time we played in a wild card was in 2009.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I mean, I
Old?
feel good.
I believe old is the correct term.
Yeah, considering it's been
You know
almost. It was gonna be 10 years.
There's
this
only
year.
there's only 2 teams that didn't play on Wild Card Weekend between 2010 and 2010 and in 2019.
Yo,
The Browns and who's the other team?
Patriots.
Yep.
Let's hypothetically say that New England goes the whole distance. This would
Yeah.
be the most games that Tom Brady has ever played in a continuous season.
Correct.
If he makes it all the way to the Super Bowl, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If they go the whole way, he has to retire.
He's gonna have nothing left for next season.
If they go the whole way and win, that would be that he would have to.
He's gonna be like
That's
Santa
what I'm
and
You're
takes a
talking,
nap.
That's 20 games he would have played in.
He's gonna be like Santa Claus and has to sleep for the entire month of January to refill for one game, one night.
So, the Packers pulled it out towards the end, 23-20. Buffalo Bills, in a surprising upset, lost to the New York Jets, 13-6. None of us saw that coming.
We
Next-
all should have.
Yeah. And another crazy upset. The Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots 27-24 in a game that all the defense had to do was stop them in the last series.
I was delighted, never happier in my life to be wrong about making a pick this week.
When you texted me, I was ready to just drive over where you were and beat you senseless.
I had Matt with me, and he's like, "This is so weird to have somebody that's not a Patriots fan," and I was just laughing so hard when I saw that final interception. I was like, "Yeah, woo!" Like I was stoked, and I could hear you yelling at your kid, yelling like, "Why did you move out of your spot? Eat your chips!" Like.
I think that was the whole problem. Is he wasn't eating his chips.
Jasmine, lick my feet. Like all the stuff that normally happens wasn't happening here.
Oh,
And you were
it
just
wasn't.
flipping your shit.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, I was so happy to be wrong.
Oh, that's.
And I'm pretty sure I said, what are you going to do if the Dolphins win? And you're like, oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because it only happens usually down there. Yes, I did yell at you, Leah. She was here. She got out of her spot.
Leah's watching?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
She got out of her spot, and that was when the interception happened. That was the that was the first pick 6 interception.
See, Leah, it's all your fault.
Yep.
And I was like, we were like, you come sit back down now. You can't have a cigarette until halftime.
At least wait till the end of the quarter.
Oh no, we only go out at halftime. So then we have the Minnesota Vikings who beat the Chicago Bears 21-19. You lost that game.
Which game?
The Minnesota Vikings
yeah.
game.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless of my record, I still won this week.
No, you lost this week.
No, I won this week.
He won
had a
because the
mental-
Patriots
we-
lost.
we
The
had a mental
Patriots
one.
lost and the Packers won. I totally won this week, regardless of my 9. I 100% won.
Regardless of what happens the rest of the season, Nate's happy.
And about halfway through the game, I was praying the Chargers would actually show up, but they ended up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, 31-21, putting the Kansas City Chiefs in second place. Then the Cincinnati Bengals actually showed up. They won 33-23 against the Browns. None of us had that happening. Next, we had the Carolina Panthers hosting the New Orleans Saints, which they just basically got stomped on. The Panthers didn't score after the 3 points they scored. They didn't score a single point until the end of the fourth quarter.
I feel like the Panthers just gave up.
Oh, it was just
Once Ron Rivera got fired, they just quit.
Yeah, they did. Because they lost 42-10. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost in overtime with a pick six to the Atlanta Falcons, 28-22. The Jacksonville Jaguars hosted the Indianapolis Colts. They won 38-20. No, Mo and Gale were the lone pickers of that game. Nobody else saw that happening. Then we had the New York Giants hosting the Philly Eagles. They lost 34-17. The Rams actually showed up for a game. They won 31-24 over the Arizona Cardinals. Baltimore Ravens, even with all their backups,
Poor Allen picked the Cardinals.
Yeah, even with all their backups in, they
and
won
the Bucks.
28-10. Yeah, he lost to the Bucks game too. Houston Texans lost because they didn't play a single one of their starters either, because they knew they weren't going to move up or down. So they lost 14-35 against the Tennessee Titans. So they're coming in this game flying high.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, it was.
Hell no!
The Denver Broncos beat the Oakland Raiders 16-15 in a tight game.
How tight was it?
Oh, it was tight. Like a
Like a dolphin's butt?
like a Dolphins butthole.
Watertight?
Dallas Cowboys tried everything they could to make it to playoffs, but they ended up losing out with a 47-16 win over the Redskins. The Seattle Seahawks lost to the San Francisco 49ers.
Get the hell out of here!
In typical Seattle fashion,
Yep.
too.
Within 3 inches. They lost by 3 inches. That was loud, Nate.
That's what she said.
Well, did you see the plays leading up to it?
They lost 26-20. Oh, yeah, I watched that game.
The delay of game after clocking the ball
Yep.
because they can't switch players in and out of the field.
Yeah, they were too slow. Gale was the only one that didn't pick the 49ers. Well, Gale and Allen.
Overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is!
I noticed
Yep.
that every time I play that drop, I take a drink.
Yeah, you do.
Like, it's the perfect amount of time that I need to be able to, like, take a drink, sit there, swallow, enjoy what I just drank, and then move on with the show. I do it every week.
You do like to swallow, though.
I do. I mean, why waste?
All right.
We talking about this?
We're going to talk about this.
All right, I'll let you talk about this.
So,
Because this was your contribution to the show.
I could contribute a little bit more.
I did find it funny that I jumped on at the point where you were updating this, and I even sent you a little note,
You did?
and then you went idle, and I deleted it. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you know why that went idle? Because I was doing this, and
Your
then
boss showed up?
my boss showed up, and so I had to finish up what I was doing. And then you were like, hey, I want to do a bracket. I'm like, oh, shit. Now I got to figure out, now I got to do brackets.
Brackets?
Yep,
You're talking about brackets?
Don't worry, Nate doesn't understand how NFL brackets work anyways.
No, he doesn't. So I had to figure how to I was trying to make it a smart bracket so that way, if you picked this team, it would
Automatically jump to the correct spot.
It would connect, jump to the correct spots, or at least if they lost, they would get you would go red or wouldn't work right, or you would lose, or just say loser across the whole thing. And
I am proud of you for going above and beyond and doing a playoff bracket.
oh yeah, I did a full playoff bracket.
Do you have
With
other
the
people
numbers.
just besides us, or are we
Oh
like?
no, I got all our usuals. I got Jeremy here, I got Gail, Mo, Amanda, Alan, and since we had a person post on our Facebook page
Well, you posted on mine,
on yours, or
Yeah.
at least whatever
the one
you,
I shared. Yeah.
the one you shared. I got Matt Scully. He's gonna have his bracket, and since he's already filled out, I'll fill him out as we all fill him out.
He does need to add what me and Nate talked about for a tiebreaker, though.
He does, and I will.
Message him and
Yeah,
take care
I
of
got
that.
So I'm guessing we have to pick the Super Bowl score.
Just the total score, total
Total
points.
score.
Oh yeah,
Total
you were
Yes,
adjusting stuff.
I
So
was
we'll
adjusting
go
stuff.
back over this.
Right.
So you'll pick out your bracket as normal. When it comes to the Super Bowl game, you'll have your winner, and then you have to put down the combined score.
The combined total score.
You can
Right.
you can write it any way you want. If you want to write it team by team, you can. It doesn't matter. It's in the end, it's just the combined score.
Right.
Though.
So the example I gave is one team got 20, the other team got 32. The combined score is 52.
Okay.
Closest to that is you have to get as close as possible to that score.
Without going over, it's just like the
no,
price is right.
as close as
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
So if one.
So I would say that let's say two people were one person was 4 over, and the other person was 4 under. I'd go to the 4 under.
4 under.
That's what I would do. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, the under does take it if
Okay.
it's a tie.
I
but
say if it's a tie, they have to naked mud wrestle.
Bogging,
Naked bogging?
bog snorkeling,
Bog snorkeling?
or
no,
we
no,
go
no,
into
you have to use a wetsuit for that.
No.
They recommend that. Remember?
shin kicking.
Oh,
We have a shin kicking competition. I wouldn't go with extreme ironing because I don't want to be held liable, but I think shin kicking can be done. Or a super punt. We could do a super punt as well.
Super punt?
You
Yeah.
know, I don't think
Well,
there's
you
going to
you
be that.
Jeremy
kind of a
has
tie.
hardwood floors. We could always get enough KY jelly and we do a little kiddie pool, KY wrestling.
I haven't introduced that. I'm trying to go off of things that I've already talked about.
Well, then when they have to build a boat and do
Bathtub racing.
Bathtub racing.
I'm trying to keep it simple.
Motorboat.
Motorboating. Get some double D's and bigger in here. And the last one to stop motorboating loses. Or last one to stop motorboating wins.
Yes.
Does anyone really lose?
Everybody's a winner in that kind of game.
No, I mean, we could. I think you and I got enough. We can.
Think I fill out a little bit more than you do. Still.
The tiebreakers have to motorboat Travis and I. Then we have losers.
Then everyone loses.
Except for Travis and me. Oh, I gotta pull up Matt's stuff. I'm gonna pull up on.
All right.
though.
So in the AFC side, in the 6th seed we ended up with the Tennessee Titans. In the 5th seed we ended up with the Buffalo Bills. In the 4th seed, the Houston Texans stayed. In the 3rd seed, the Patriots with that loss were moved to the 3rd. So that is this week's games. And the buys this week are the 1st seed Baltimore Ravens and the 2nd seed Kansas City Chiefs. Over in the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings are in 6th place. The 5th seed Seahawks, the 4th seed Eagles with a 9-7, just barely making it in. 3rd, the New Orleans Saints. And in the bye week, we have the 1st seed San Francisco 49ers, which was the last undefeated team this year, and the Green Bay Packers, who I think have already lost the 49ers, correct?
We have, and if we go to play in California, we're gonna lose again.
Right.
Don't worry. Just wait till you hear my bracket.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure your bracket sounds like my bracket. Not as happy as we'd like to be.
I'm surprised that my bracket actually does not match Matt's at all.
Really?
No, I mean there's a couple, but he's got teams that I wouldn't say winning.
I was close to where he was gonna be.
You know what's funny? I haven't looked at anyone else's brackets. I'm just still trying to figure out my own.
The only reason I looked at it because I was trying to I had to see who was playing when, and like I was gonna put his in before we even started tonight, but then I ran out of time at work and I was like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. I need to get home.
Yeah. Yeah, the AFC games for me, the wild card in the AFC was the hardest one for me to pick, and then I was bouncing between one of the NFC games.
See, mine is hard. Well, the first game wasn't hard for me to pick. It's the second game that was hard for me to pick.
All right,
In
well,
the AFC. All right.
are we at that point yet?
I think so.
We talk about the NFC wild cards and
Yep, we talked about all the wild cards from the NFC. And we want to do wild card picks, or do you want to do your? Well, I think we want to do brackets first
Well,
before we do the picks.
essentially the wild card picks are going to end up turning into the bracket because we
Right.
have to make the wild card picks first to finish out
Right.
the bracket. So we'll make our wild card picks.
Right.
And then anyone who does bracket can submit it to someone and
Yep. Or they can, if they're watching or listening, or I guess they have to watch or kind of listen because I know Amanda listens. She doesn't actually watch.
Right.
or she
Oh.
watches and doesn't listen, one of the two.
I mean, either depends. I think she's done with the Santa Claus movie, so I think she's going to be able to actually listen.
She finally finished the Santa Claus movie.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she gets sick of us, then she'll switch it to something else.
It's true. It's easy to get sick of us.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep. All right.
All right. So how do we want to do this?
Well,
So since it's only 4 games this week,
you beat me,
I did.
so you have the option of picking first, or you can have me pick first.
Well,
We haven't done this all year,
No, we
or in
haven't.
18 weeks, but
Something we can remember for next year.
yeah, why not? So you beat me, and since we're the faces to the show,
Right.
you get to make the choice since you're at the head of the table this week.
I think I will go second.
All right, so I'm picking the Houston and Buffalo game,
Yes, you are.
and Houston is at home,
Yep.
and I am going to go with the Houston Texans.
Really?
Once I printed it, I stamped it.
You stamped it?
Yeah, because again, I want Buffalo to win, but part of me wants Houston to win, but I really want Buffalo to win. But I think Houston has just enough to possibly beat Buffalo. Between Deshaun Watson, was it Derrick Henry?
Yep.
They have a decent running game. Their defense is pretty stout. I'm leaning on that to carry me through on that one. It was a tough pick. It really was. All of this was a tough pick.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought long and hard about this. A lot longer and harder than I probably should have.
Yeah, like 3 hours like me. And then I
Oh.
finally hit print.
It was longer than that,
Oh.
I think. I think I started somewhere around last night when I realized that I had that today was Thursday, and that I was gonna have to do this kind of stuff.
Hey, that's way too much prepping. You gotta pick off the fly. Come on, I did that while we were talking here.
Well, after thinking about it and going through it and looking at a couple of games, Buffalo Bills have been on a run, and I have a feeling that they're gonna beat Houston this week.
They are at home.
They are.
No,
at home.
they're away.
They're
away.
They're at
Houston's home.
They're at Houston, but it's nice there.
Yeah.
The weather's not going to be a factor.
I can't.
It's more going to be the Bills have been on a roll, and Houston has dropped dropped a game more recent. Dropped a tougher game, I'd say. They shouldn't have lost more recently.
I think no matter what anybody picks this week, or even moving forward, I can't argue because I had a bitch of a time trying to figure this out.
The playoffs this year are very stacked.
Yes.
There's no real underdog or
and
team that doesn't really belong. I mean, except maybe Philly, but
Even they have a chance, though.
they do.
They really
do.
do.
Yes, they do.
They always
Their
turn
their
off in the
record doesn't
playoffs.
really dictate them.
That's a Saturday game. That
I
is
just-
a 4:35 game too.
that's-
So
Buffalo's the 4:35 on Saturday.
right.
All right, so
Oh.
Jeremy, you are next because you're in the room.
I am going
Yep.
with Buffalo. I do have Maureen's picks.
Oh, sweet. So you can do them at the same time.
And I
Yes.
got Matt, so
Okay, Maureen is also going with Buffalo.
Whoa, what just happened here?
I don't know.
We have no idea.
Yes. All right, so Mo is going with Buffalo.
Yes, she is.
And who are you going with?
Buffalo.
You're going with Buffalo. Gail, are you watching or are you taking a nap? I think Gail might be taking a nap. Amanda, your pick. Are you still awake?
She should be, but I'm going to go ahead and go Matt and give her time.
Yeah, you got Matt's?
Matt went with Buffalo.
All right. So did I? No.
And this is not podcast Matt for those that are listening.
Oh, this is not podcast.
This is not
Matt.
podcast Matt. This is Army Buddy Matt.
So this is the other Matt.
Is Leah still listening? She can throw in the.
I don't know. Leah, you gonna make picks tonight? Try for it. There's only 4 games.
Maureen says Gail was watching Frozen 2 not long ago.
Right.
Again.
Second time? Maybe she just wanted to hear it.
I also sent her a message.
I mean, we do have 5 people watching, so me, Amanda, you guys,
I'm watching on my
Maureen.
own.
Okay, so we might not have.
Gail might not be here.
Gail might not be here. Leah might not be here. Not sure.
Yep. All right. So, New England Patriots. So this is the Saturday night game at 8:15.
This was the hardest game I think to pick this week.
Pats at home, Tennessee Titans here, in it's supposed to be a wintry mix, snow, ice.
Fun New England weather.
Yeah, typical New England weather.
It's you. You're making the
It
first
is.
pick. This was a hard game.
If they,
It was tough for me to make this pick
It's hard It is
because the
very hard.
Titans have been surging.
Yes, and last time we played them when they're surging like this, we lost horribly.
And
But we also played them there.
and Tannehill knows the Patriots. He's only played
does.
them twice a year for the last however many seasons he's been in Miami.
But
Right.
he has never won in New England.
Right, he's never won in New England. So
And New England, up until this year, hasn't lost a game in New England.
No,
So
inside the division, correct? Yeah, it's a.
it's a tough one.
Some things are changing.
The tides are turning. Is that what you're saying?
So
That is what I'm saying, and thank you.
So Nate's
if-
going with Tennessee.
if the Pats go with the misdirection offense that worked 2 weeks ago, they should win that game. If they don't, they're going to lose horribly in that game. But I am still going to pick the Pats to win in playoffs just because I trust them in the at least this round of the playoffs. But other than that, I don't know how much further they'll go. So technically, it's Maureen's pick, Jeremy.
Okay, so Maureen is going with. Hold on, I got that. She's going with New England.
She's going with New England. Jeremy, you said this is a tough game for you to pick.
It was. So I picked New England. I
Okay.
want New England to win.
Just don't
I'm
believe
not.
it?
I think Tennessee's gonna win. I can't pick them. Nate, you know how sometimes you have that feeling it's not gonna go your way, but still you just
Yeah, like when Green Bay plays in California.
yes
Yeah.
you still pick Green Bay, but you know you shouldn't.
Yes.
This is that game for me. I have a feeling that Tennessee's gonna come in here and win. That Henry, the running back, is gonna be too much for them to handle. They're not gonna be able to stop that offense.
So I was talking to Matt, and I said the teams that are going to make it through these playoffs are the ones that have the better defense and the better running game.
Yep.
That is going to be the story for the playoffs. Not the quarterback,
Yep.
not the wide receiver core, the defenses and the running game.
So our mindsets are pretty similar then.
Oh, you're thinking the same thing?
That's what I was just going
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fact that
My bad.
running-
Until you rudely interrupted him.
But I'm picking New England, but I think Tennessee's gonna win. I can't pick against New England in playoffs. At least not at this point in time.
Not in this round.
Not at home.
I am proud of you for admitting it.
I want them to win, and I hope they do. But I don't think they're going to. But I can't pick against them. I think Brady still has one more in him.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't
One
think
more
he
throw.
had-
That's it.
Oh.
I don't think he has one more. I don't think this is the year for that,
Oh,
unfortunately.
they're not making the Super Bowl. No way.
No.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I am interested to see where you guys feel that New England's going to drop off.
easy next week. Oh wait, did you want me to wait for that one? Okay.
It's Nate's.
It's
Nate's
me.
turn.
'Cause
Nate's
'cause
going
I
with
do
Titans. I'm assuming
I am not. Actually, I'm very much like you, where
everything's telling you to pick the Titans, yet you just can't.
in the heart of hearts, and I hate to admit this, I researched today.
Oh,
like,
really?
that's how hard this was. The AFC for me was the most difficult to go with.
Yep.
Like, I looked at other people's picks. I did research on defenses and stats and all kinds of just craziness. I still picked
things you don't usually do.
no, like
Wow, you guys did a lot of work on this one.
I did, we did, but I did pick New England.
All right. So,
I'm going with the fact they're at home,
yep.
but like Jeremy, I think Tennessee is actually going to create the upset. I think that Brady his gas is running out. I think he doesn't have as much as he had. There's not a strong, wide receiver core there. I don't think the running game is going to be enough to get through to the Tennessee's defense.
Yep.
And I think that Tennessee's offense is going to really test the endurance of New England's defense. So I think Tennessee's going to win, but
Just can't do it.
you can't pick. Really, it's hard to pick against New England in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard.
They've been there
especially
enough. They know how to do it.
especially in this round. Unless something clicks this weekend, I don't. Picking them after this weekend is hard.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt.
No, picking them after this weekend is not a wise choice.
Right.
The road's too tough this year.
And unfortunately we're gonna do our brackets this week because everybody has until Saturday at 4:30. I will close down the brackets.
I'd close it at 4 because you know people are gonna try and.
Oh no, I get the emails or the text messages or the Facebook posts. Anything I see after 4:30 Eastern Standard Time
Posted after 4:30.
after 4:30 will not be included into the brackets because it will update the brackets probably Sunday morning or Saturday after midnight.
Now, with that, if you still make picks, we are still going to pick the next set of games for who won.
Right.
The bracket is just kind of like a
It's an overall test of see where you think these teams are gonna
right.
lie.
It's a more or less like a suck it, bitches. I'm better than you.
Right.
At predicting a month out.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you get a perfect bracket, that'd be legit.
Yeah. Perfect bracket. Then you should have played in Vegas because that's big money.
What do you mean? You can go to New Hampshire now.
True.
As long as you're in New Hampshire, you can place the bets on your mobile.
Oh, really? So I guess we just got to go up to get cigarettes, huh?
Yep.
Beer's cheaper there anyways, I think.
It
Beer
can
and
be.
liquor.
They have the Pabst 6.5 at Hannaford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought a 12-pack. That's why I have so much Belgian beer here.
Ah.
It's been in my fridge downstairs. All right, moving to
Alright.
Philadelphia and Seattle.
No, we're at the New Orleans.
Oh, we're going that way? New Orleans,
yeah,
Minnesota?
New Orleans, Minnesota, because that's the 1 o'clock game.
Minnesota.
Yep, the Minnesota game. New Orleans Saints, Minnesota. Mo is picking first, technically.
She is picking the Saints.
Oh, that's not a surprise.
I am picking the Saints.
You are picking the Saints. What did Matt pick?
He picked the Saints.
He picked the Saints.
I feel like people don't have faith in Kirk Cousins, which I can't blame them.
Nate, what do you pick?
Saints.
The Saints.
Part of me wanted to go with the purple and gold, but the Saints are at home.
Saints are at
Like
home.
it's a 10-point advantage.
Yeah, easy
Yeah.
10-point advantage.
And that place is going to be going crazy.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is. And they're going to be so pissed when one of the defensive players for the Vikings knocks the guy out before he can catch the ball.
Oh yeah, and they don't throw the.
And there's
going to
be another boycott of the Super Bowl.
So Jeremy, you get to pick last. The Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks.
I am picking Seattle. Because although
Philly's at home.
although he is a complete idiot, Pete Carroll, that team is
But
still.
they have Marshawn back.
That team was still.
That may be the only reason they lose next week.
That team was still inches away from upsetting the Niners twice this year.
Yeah.
They did go into San Francisco and beat them earlier this year.
Yep.
That team is.
that game determined first or third place
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
because the
That-
49ers had to win, staying first.
If
Or
Seattle
if
wins
Seattle
that game.
wins, they went into third place.
Yep. And I feel like that team is battle tested. They have unfortunately, they're not going to go too far, but they're going to win this week.
Oh, yeah. So, what did Matt pick for this game?
Matt picked the Seahawks as well.
Matt picked the Seahawks.
Yep.
So, Nate, who you going with?
I picked the home of the cheesesteak. I picked the Philadelphia Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly?
Fly, Eagles, fly. I think they can do it. They do best when they're under the pressure where everybody thinks they're the underdog, which they are. And I think there's a stat saying they're 5-0 against teams that are plus 500.
Yep.
So, yeah.
My fear is their lack of receivers, though. Everyone's hurt.
Yeah, but again, I said that we both mentioned this, is the running game is where it's at.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
But come on, you got Marshawn Lynch back.
you do have Marshawn.
He has the freshest legs in the NFL right now.
He does. He's had a nice long break.
All right, Cue Ball, what are you thinking?
I'm gone back and forth on this a couple of times. It's hard to pick the Philly.
Who was your first pick?
Who was my very first pick?
Yeah.
It was actually the Eagles.
Then pick the Eagles.
But then I was like, no, the Seahawks. See, this game was actually probably my second hardest game. It was always the afternoon games.
This was
The
my
late
third
games.
hardest. The first hardest for me was,
The Buffalo Bills game.
yeah, Houston and Buffalo, and then
See,
New
that
England.
was the easy one.
Those two were the hardest
I
ones.
said the Bills had taken that one. Then I fought over the New England-Tennessee game because no matter how much I want the Pats to win, I don't know if the Tennessee Titans won't come in here and kick our ass.
So it sounds like Travis has the same thoughts that we do, Nate. We think everything says the Patriots should win, but in the back of our minds we have this
the only
this nudge that's saying Tennessee's gonna come in here and win.
Right.
the two games I never had a problem with was the Bills game and the Saints game. I was like, Bills are gonna win, Saints are gonna win. Period.
Right.
New England Patriots. Holy crap, this season has been bad. And then the Philly Eagles, they've all of a sudden just showed up out of nowhere and said, hey, we're here to play. And
not really.
Seattle has been up and down this whole season. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. They were my first guess.
Yes!
Proud of you.
It's hard for me to do that just because I don't know if the receivers for Philly don't show up. Seattle's gonna march up and down that field all day.
This is totally serial.
Hey, what receivers? Everyone's hurt.
Exactly. Their backups that have actually been doing quite well.
Ugh.
So Mo would have the last pick.
Oh, hold on. Oh, that's over here. She is picking Seattle.
She is picking Seattle.
Now, I'm worried because Travis picked the Eagles with me, which means that they're going to lose.
Yeah.
When Travis and I pick together and everybody else picks otherwise,
we lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, time to move on to the bracket.
So now that we have that,
Second round.
maybe I should take a picture of this so that way we can just move these right on over because I didn't work these in so that way they would. So hold on.
Well, just open. Yeah,
I just gotta take a snippet.
Snip it.
At this point, you should probably just run through people's next picks, person by person, because it's not going to be the same depending who the person is.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna do. Is each person.
So go Nate first. I mean,
That's why Nate's the top.
unless you want me to go first, I have mine already printed out.
Yeah, I got mine too.
Okay, as long as everyone's
I haven't printed out mine, so
I got mine.
I'll
I
do
got
Nate's.
Matt's.
So
Alright.
Nate's, you got the Houston Texans, and who'd you have down here? You
you
had
have the Patriots.
Patriots.
We all went Patriots down there.
All right. So after this,
So that's still correct, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. The right side, you
Yep.
had
Eagles.
Eagles, and then you had the Saints.
And that is correct as well.
Okay.
So then we had, what do you got out of this one?
Ravens.
Then what do you got?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I feel like that's a
Over
lot
on
of
this
people.
right side, what do you have?
San Francisco.
Then what do you got?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
That game right
So,
there was probably the second
Back
hardest
on the
one to pick.
AFC, what do you got?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Over on this side, what do you got?
49ers.
Jimmy G.
And I have the 49ers winning it all.
You had the 49ers winning it all.
Yeah, I think their defense can contain. I thought I said something on there like "you suck," and I was like, "What the fuck?" The only thing I don't have is my point total yet, so I owe you that.
So you owe me the point total.
Yeah.
So I'll just make a little thing right there.
Actually, you know what? I think it's gonna be
Yeah, just give me it to now. Do it live.
62.
62.
What the?
You didn't do the favorite number in the whole wide world.
42.
No.
69.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think it's gonna go that high. I think it's gonna be like 30 to 32.
You realize you and Morgan have the exact same point total?
Do we?
Yes.
It will be effing hilarious if you two tie.
Her pitcher was from 920, so it's nothing's changed on that. So
Her shins better get ready for some shin kicking.
So I had who did I have up top? I had the Bills. I had New
Patriots.
England.
You had Eagles.
Over here I had
and
Eagles.
Saints.
I had Saints. So I think the Saints are gonna win this one.
You think they're gonna beat Packers at Lambeau?
Yeah.
See, I played that into my pick. Is the fact that they're playing in Lambeau. The Saints are a dome. I'm not trying to sway you.
Oh, I know.
but
They're a dome
the
team.
Saints are a dome team,
that was the hard one for me right there.
and Breeze is old. And I don't know if you know this, but old people don't do well in the cold.
Breeze is only 40.
Yeah, he's younger than Brady.
Look, I'm 33, and I have issues with the cold.
Hey, old man.
And I don't have half the surgeries that Breeze does.
I'm 33. Breeze actually hasn't had too many surgeries in his career.
He's got more than I do. Just saying.
See,
I have issues in the cold. So if I have issues, then Breeze has to have
So
issues.
I've been back and forth on this game like
So-
3 or 4 times.
So Travis picked
But
the
I
Ravens,
still have the Ravens, and,
and then he picked the Chiefs over New England. He picked San Francisco to beat the Saints because we are a podcast.
Right.
So the
sorry.
listeners can't see what you did.
Right.
And then he has the Ravens taking the AFC. So he has the Ravens playing San Francisco. He is about to make his Super Bowl champ win. And he went with the San Francisco 49ers.
Jimmy G.
I'm trusting in Jimmy G.
I am trusting the defense. That's who I picked with. I think the defense is what's going to hold.
Okay, point total, Travis.
Point total. I have a feeling that this thing is going to be outrageous.
So you're going with 69?
No.
See, it could go low.
It could go.
It could be a low-scoring game.
But
So it could have been like 45.
The last time San Francisco met the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco lost by the skin of their teeth. But it was.
Did they have
all,
Lamar Jackson though?
That was
Yes.
the Harbaugh
Okay.
Bowl.
That was
That was the Harbaugh Bowl.
Harbaugh.
yeah, and
That was the two Harbaugh brothers.
and it was a 98-point game.
Oof.
So I'm gonna go on the lower side with an 86-point game.
Holy
What? You're supposed to go one over.
Oh
not,
my God!
not shoot for the stars. Don't you ever watch Price is Right?
I watch it every Monday through Friday unless there's a
I don't get to watch the
impeachment
prices.
proceedings going on.
I don't get to watch the prices right,
It's actually on my DVR.
but
It automatically
I
records
always
for
said
me.
I want to go and play Plinko. That's the only game I want to play is Plinko.
Plinko has been almost weekly.
Really, for
Yeah.
the longest time, it was like
Monthly.
it was
yeah,
rare.
It was rare. Now it's almost weekly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and the final showcase showdown prizes, they're all over 40 grand today.
really?
Yeah, it was the highest I've ever seen. I couldn't believe it. Like I
Wow.
was like $11,000 to $15,000 under
Oh,
what
wow.
I was going to bid.
Wow, Nate
And
doesn't
I'm-
know the value of things anymore.
Well, I'm usually like within $200
That's
every day
and that wins
for
you,
both showcases.
That wins you both showcases. If you're within
It was like $100, I think.
if you're within $100,
Yeah.
you win. Oh yeah, because
But like I am eagle eye when it comes to these things.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Price is Right. I am great.
well, you watch it every day.
I just need to be able to get past the wheel.
see the wheel's not the hard part.
No, the wheel is the hard part because that has no predictability.
Oh yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Tennessee's coming back. They just got an onside kick.
Anyway,
we covered it.
We digressed for far too long. Jeremy,
Jeremy,
where
so-
you at?
Yeah,
Is
where's
it
your
is it
picks?
me or Mo?
It is
you're
your
next
pi-
on
you're,
the
you're
line.
picking
Okay,
first.
it's me. I have Baltimore winning.
Hold on, no,
Hold on.
hold on.
He's got to catch you up in the second
Oh,
round.
So
I've
first
Baltimore
we have,
win- Baltimore.
First we have the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
Then you're
I'm
gonna
sorry.
have Baltimore in that one. So then
I have
in-
New England.
New England. I'm
Yeah,
guessing
New
he's going to
England.
the Chiefs next.
Then Kansas City.
Then Kansas City.
Then Ravens.
Then Ravens. Okay, so over on the the EFL.
The NFC. Seattle.
Oh, hang on. He's good. Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah, and
And
then
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Then we have New Orleans.
Then
Alright.
the Niners.
Niners.
Oh.
And then what do you have?
I have the Saints.
You have the
Oh,
Saints.
So many haters.
No, I feel like the Packers just don't have it this year.
Then what do you have?
The
That's why they're
Niners.
not making it to the
So
Super
you have the
Bowl.
same bracket I have. Oop. And what is gonna be your winner?
Niners.
Niners.
And I'm going 54 in a total.
You're going 54 in a total.
But no, we don't have the same bracket. You have the Eagles winning.
It's true.
I have the Seahawks winning.
Oh yeah. What is
That is pretty legit though. That not one of us has the same bracket so far.
I
We
have
all have the same final two
and
teams.
what was your score?
54.
54.
See? I wrote it down. That way there's no questioning it. I highlighted it. I wrote it down before looking at anything else, so there was no...
All
Okay,
right.
now Maureen's bracket.
All right, since Gail's not here, yeah. So I need her first games.
Okay, so Buffalo,
Buffalo,
New England,
New England.
Ravens up top.
I do enjoy the fact that you New England fans have picked against your home team.
And New England down bottom.
Oh!
She has faith.
She just broke her bracket.
So
Hold on, wait. And then the Ravens winning that side. She only got them going one more game than us.
over on the NFC,
Seattle,
Seattle,
New Orleans,
New Orleans,
Seattle, San Fran.
Niners,
Niners,
New Orleans,
New Orleans. Everybody's picking New Orleans but you, Nate.
and then Niners.
And then Niners.
And then she has Ravens
Oh.
winning it. And then her point total, let me double check. It is 34 plus 28, 62.
62.
Same as Nate's. I wanted to double check it again.
I really want the Packers to win. I really want you all to be upsetted. I really do.
But as long
So
as
since we don't have an Amanda
We don't have an Amanda.
and we don't have
or
an
an
Alan,
we have Matt's though.
We have
we have
Maddie.
Matt's.
But we
Yeah.
need Matt's point total.
We don't have his
Yes.
point total, but I'll get that.
All right, so first we have,
No,
Bills?
this is mine. Why am I pulling mine
Yeah.
up? He's got Buffalo
yeah,
and then New England.
then New England,
I feel like everyone thinks
Kansas City is next.
Kansas City,
Then Baltimore,
then Baltimore.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, wow.
I've seen people picking this. People for some reason think Kansas City's upsetting Baltimore by like a field goal.
All right, so over on the NFC, what do we got?
Seattle,
Seattle,
and then New Orleans,
then New Orleans,
New Orleans,
New Orleans,
San Francisco,
San Fran,
San Francisco,
San Fran,
49ers.
49ers. Mo's the only one of us all that has chosen the Baltimore Ravens to win.
She's the one that hasn't chose the Niners to win actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's possible. It's very plausible, but I think the San Francisco defense is what is going to hold
Yeah,
against
The
Baltimore.
San Fran was literally 3 points away from winning, 2 points away from winning that game.
that doesn't matter, Travis. Those are
It
two
was-
completely different teams.
No, it was.
Yes, they are. Back then, San Francisco was the running quarterback team.
Oh yeah, because they had Kaepernick,
No,
didn't they?
Baltimore was the
didn't
Joe
no,
Flacco
Baltimore
throwing.
played 49ers this year.
I thought you were talking about the last time they played in the Super Bowl.
No. I'm saying that this year, the San Fran and Baltimore, I think San Fran has a better chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs than beating the Baltimore Ravens. But I still think that San Fran, the way they took it to the Baltimore Ravens, that the Chiefs have like no chance against them.
See, I almost think Baltimore is going to Buffalo's going to beat the Ravens.
because they did give the Ravens everything they could this year, and basically gave them a run for their money. So I remember watching that game saying, "Holy crap, the Ravens are gonna lose
Yeah.
to Buffalo."
Yeah, and the fact that Baltimore did give their guys 2 weeks off, there might be a little rust.
Yeah,
Mo's talking trash. What's she saying now?
I haven't seen any Mo trash yet.
She's watching on the TV, so she can't type into it.
Oh.
She says, y'all so confident in 49ers being Seahawks again. Don't forget how close that game was and how Seattle marched down the field to almost win that game. We don't forget that. We just know Pete Carroll's an idiot.
He'll run when he's supposed to pass and pass when he's supposed to run. It's almost a guarantee.
And yes, the Niners and Ravens did play at the beginning of December, and it was a field goal game.
Yes.
But it was in Baltimore.
Right. So playing on neutral site, it may be a little bit different.
Yeah, it's going to be nice weather. I feel like it was crappy weather in Baltimore that game, too.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions, comments?
Trash talk.
Trash talk.
I feel like our normal question person is only going through her proxy.
Let's see. Anything? Don't have anything new, so. Do we want to talk about?
I don't know. You tell me.
I was gonna. Never mind. I'll wait for a week in the off season to talk about.
Like someone like me, take me home, Daddy, and learn.
Maureen wants to know about the Dolphins and their 3 first-round draft picks this coming season. I don't know if we should do draft talk yet because the season's still going on, or save it for after the.
I think draft talks because we'll know.
And after the spanking, the oral sex.
I think draft talk and maybe either after the Super Bowl or the week between the Super Bowl.
Because we got, what, 3 to 4 weeks between Super Bowl and draft?
Yeah.
We have about 2 to 3 months.
Oh yeah. The NFL draft isn't until
April.
Right.
So we have plenty of time to talk about draft. Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice
that was a
pitch.
nice little play.
Nice QB option,
Oh,
too.
Tennessee took the lead finally.
Yeah, they did.
So currently in what bowl game?
The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
The Indiana is 22, Tennessee is 23, and
With 2:32 left in
I'm
the
thinking Indiana
quarter.
is in Tennessee's 30.
4-yard line.
Thank
With
you.
a-
And
with
they're
a-
going for a field goal.
They are at 4th and 8 right now.
Yep. Oh, and they're going for a field goal.
The kicker's got a belly on him. Look at that.
Nate did just say this.
I didn't notice he had said that.
When the people aren't listening.
What happened?
Exactly.
What did I say?
You said they're gonna go for a field. They're going for a field goal right now.
I did.
And then Travis 2 seconds later says, "Oh, it looks like they're going for a field goal."
Aww.
I pay attention.
Water! I fart in your general direction.
I pay attention. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Don't worry, Texas called the timeout, so they're icing the kicker.
Yeah.
But they need they need a while to ice that gut.
All right. So since Mo is only talking about draft picks for next year.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I probably have 0 to no input on draft picks. Except for
at this point,
where teams need to reinforce.
Oh, Alabama called the timeout, not Texas.
Oh, they tried to ice
Not
them?
Tennessee. No,
Alabama's not even playing.
Indiana called it, not Tennessee.
I mean, Alabama can call a timeout, but it's not going to do anything.
No, Indiana called their own timeout, not Tennessee.
But yeah, essentially for me, when it comes to draft time, I look at position versus player because I don't watch college ball.
Right.
And I know Tua hasn't formally declared yet.
No, he has not yet.
So he might actually play another year at college to see where that might go.
And the quarterback for LSU might try and figure out how he can stay another year in college, considering he's already a 5th-year senior, just so he doesn't have to go to the Bengals.
I mean, it's better than no matter what. He's going to go to Ohio. Either it's going to be in Cincinnati or it's going to be Cleveland.
Well, no, because Cleveland has Baker. They're not going to choose another
Well, I'm just
quarterback over
saying, historically, you're going to end up in Ohio with a first-round pick.
Yeah.
him. Normally,
So
yes.
next year he has to suck.
Well, he's only also this is his only first year starting too, so he only really has one tested year. So
Yeah, and we've seen so many times these number 1 draft picks when they get thrown right out into the NFL, they usually don't do quite well.
he missed it.
He missed it. They call a timeout for it, and then he misses it.
It was a
No,
fif-
it was the other team. They iced him.
no. I told you, Indiana called the timeout, not Tennessee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Well, no, that's...
Must
Oh,
be
got it. Never mind. I don't know why that confused me.
that beer gut must have gotten in his way.
I could have kicked
left-
better than
Oh,
that.
so
Left-footed
close,
kicker.
though.
Yeah, left-footed pulled it.
And 52 yards, that's a stretch. That was close.
Oh.
That's sad.
There's still 2.5 minutes to go. Anything can happen.
That quarterback is not happy. He's like, if I could have gotten just another 6 feet closer. All right. So you think on that note, are we done?
I think we could be done.
I
It's
think
an
we're
early
done.
show. Look at us being done by 10:30-ish.
Pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
All right,
Pretty
Jeremy.
much.
Oh.
That's all, folks.
Bye, y'all.